Everything recorded.
How I look, man?
Freaking awesome.
Do I look fly, bro?
You look fly. Oh, I need to get a new battery.
I look presentable.
You're like on the corner.
Will the chicks dig
You're
it?
like in the shop, but you're not like.
I know, like sitting down across from somebody and just talking could feel, you know what I mean?
No. Alright. This is a documentation of the artist known as Lord Ra, the one in grades. He recently dropped the album For the Love of God, and I just got a few questions for this guy. But let's start off with a little background. Are you AZ native?
Oh, yeah, no. Born and raised in Alhambra, you know what I mean? Alhambra Village, to be very specific. Grew up North Central, been in Central pretty much a good chunk of my life.
What year did you start making music?
What year did I start making? I can remember. So I've been rapping since like 7 years old, and like writing raps and poems. I started out writing poems to myself and like making raps for myself, and then I actually started recording my music 2014, like early 2014.
What were you recording it on?
Whatever DJ Rerun had. Shouts out DJ Rerun. That was my first engineer ever. But we used to go to his crib. And yeah, I'll go every day after school, damn near, like just record shit, or like every weekend if I could.
All right, so 2014, about 12 years ago. How would you compare yourself to who you were then?
I was a lot more anxious then of like my style. You know what I mean? Like, I guess like how you are at like any age before like you reach adulthood, you just kind of like a little naive to like how things function. Mm-hmm. But I will say I was a lot more, I was reserved in my style, and I feel like that definitely like opened up over the years, like especially on like For the Love of God. I delved into a lot of shit, like a lot of production, a lot of topics, and like a lot of like flows I wasn't like comfortable using like for years at this point. But I felt like leading up to Good Lord Volume 2, and especially after Good Lord Volume 1, I felt like a little more comfortable in that pocket. You know what I mean? So it's like a good lead up.
Fully established.
Yeah. Like, just, I found a way to do it my way. You know what I mean? Like, where it wasn't like I was just replicating a style I heard, or like how the music was supposed to sound over these type of beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And with these beats, since you are a producer, producing many great albums.
Appreciate you.
Besides vinyl, where else do you look for music that can be sampled?
Shit, everywhere, man. I mean, I was born in 2000, so grew up with computers, grew up with a phone in my pocket. Shit, I could record a gate shaking and make a beat out of it, you know what I mean? It was funny, the other day I was walking back from the QT across the street, and I had these big ass pants on. I had big ass pants on, and I had change in my pocket. So my pants were doing like kind of like this off kilter, like shh, 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 shh. Yeah. And I kept like tapping the coins in my pocket to do like the 2s and the 4s and shit. And I noticed like my upstairs neighbor was looking at me, and I just kept doing it while we were looking at each other. So it's like you can find inspiration anywhere. You know what I mean? I learned that from like damn near every producer great I follow, whether that be like Madlib and Doom. You know what I mean?
Was it Timberland that made like, a beat out of like random like items you found outside, like a trash can or something like that?
There's a lot of producers with that story. I think that's like a hip hop staple. Like shit, I seen DJ Quick. He had an interview. He was talking about, I forgot the song he was talking about, but he made the claps to this song based off of a funk soul record he was listening to, and he liked the bass inside of it. So he went to the bathroom, I believe like with his nephews, and they all like clapped into like the shower to get like that like snapback. You know what I mean? I was like, that's hard. That's hard. So I think it's like just like a staple practice in the game at this point. But I wouldn't be surprised if Timbaland did it. That's why he need to stop using AI, bro. Nigga too creative for all that shit.
That's very true.
I was listening to some Missy Elliott records yesterday, and like literally like just going on a full rant about that bullshit.
Didn't he like sign like an AI artist or something like that?
Yeah, and it's like a light skinned woman. Like this, like
into what is it? Producing beats and making your own music. When it comes to your music, especially in sound, you remain very loyal to traditional rap culture while also bringing a fresh rendition without dismissing old school. Like you respect it, and you also add to the culture. And since everyone evolves, what aspect of your sound do you feel remains constant throughout your projects?
I like to experiment with like very almost like jazzy percussion, regardless of the genre. Like I like a very like hand stitched feel to like the way everything sounds, whether that be the way that I'm rapping or like how the beat flows. Like even on like Beyonce specifically, like shouts out like fucking Surf Gang and Evil Gianni and them. Like I just wanted like a very like video game sounding kind of like loose. Mm-hmm. Want the beat to sound like a purple pink mist. You know what I mean? like with no end in sight type beat. Like so it's just that, and then like I don't know. I think the Black Pride is felt through every project. Cause that's a big part of like the musical identity for sure.
Yeah. And I do see that constantly in your albums, especially with this new one, For Love of God. Can you talk to me more about constructing this album?
I was kind of dreading this question a little bit, just cause like it's nothing too like spectacular. I look at my projects like being an author in a way. So previously I had Akata. That was kind of like My Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. So I have like a sister project to Akata called Kaza. And that's supposed to be like a continuation basically of that same story. So this was like a mix of like a lot of things. I was leaving on the table for volume 2. And then like things that didn't make sense to bring to like other elements of the project and like ways that I was trying to like explain the story. You know what I mean? So putting this together was like really just, it was a bit haphazard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, so I feel like the only song on here that I had like a lot of intention of like for sure making for this project was Phoenix Cowboy. Cause that was like the last song I ever made. Years on the rise, can't blow my high, got good all the time. Brother man threw a hand up, testified. They ain't reading Miranda rights, intimate with my heart, shit, Sunday candlelight. That, and then there's a skit with my grandmother on the beginning of the project called Mr. Frazier, where she's speaking. I literally like just went into her room one day and I was like, hey, like, can you do like my bio? Like, I'm like, I figured you know me the best, obviously. Like, you know what I mean? Giving birth to my mom and all, like.
Traylon Frazier was born on August 12, 2000 in Phoenix, Arizona. Father Ronald and mother Nicole.
You know what I mean? Yeah, no, it was a blessing to do, and like she's been a part of like so many other aspects of my art, but she be acting shy, so it was like cool to finally get her voice on a project, and like she's an Easter egg, you know what I mean, in the multiverse that is the like Lord Ra music
universe. Throw in the credits.
We can quiet, protect Granny at all costs.
you guys into being the Halal
Wait,
Boys?
hold on. We back?
Yeah, we back. Come on.
One.
Let's rewind
two,
this for a second.
Bet. Alright.
Alright, so I want to talk a little bit about like the Halal Boys, the group you're a part of.
Yeah.
And first off, give me a little bit of background, like, how'd you guys meet?
But nah, me and Malik have known each other, and like our older homies, going back since we was like teenagers and kids and shit. So, but we finally started making music together like in our adulthood, like around like when it was like 19 and 22 and like, you know what I mean, like 20 and 21 and shit like that. Yeah. But like, no, we've been rocking ever since, bro. But like, we always been on each other's periphery for the most part, like in the scene and shit. Like,
It's really cool. And when you guys are making music together, are you always working with them in mind, or mainly prioritize your own opinion first?
like anytime you working inside a team, you got to take into consideration what ingredients are being put into the pot by each other in order to get like the best result. Even if like I'll lead with an idea, like I've handled a lot of the production on Halal Boys projects thus far, just because I've been like solo producing for some years now. I had approached Malik with the first project. It was basically like, yo, like if you're down, like I would like to get more practice engineering and like producing, and I would like to do that for this whole project. I mean, having my own ideas about how I want to attack it or like what I want to contribute, you still got to run it by, you know what I mean, the team.
And if when you guys are ever in a disagreement, how would you resolve?
Whoop his ass.
Whoop his ass?
No, I'm playing. Nah, like, shit. We very, like, reasonable people. We very, like, level-headed. We damn near, like, think the same on a lot of shit just based on how we grew up. So, we just know how to fucking talk, man. We know how to talk like adults. And, that just squashes a lot of, like, unnecessary, like, bullshit. And, we just laid out a lot of, like, how we wanted to function as a group early on. Like, in order to, like, avoid, like, obstacles and roadblocks that would come up like that. Or just, like, indifferences that we might have. Because honestly, a lot of it just be, like, maybe, like, fussing over, like, some timing and scheduling. Again, like, it does take a lot longer inside a group, and it takes a lot more patience in order to, like, run ideas for a group, through a group. But I feel like we just building up that muscle, man. And I trust him, and I respect his, like, artistic ability enough to, like, not have that be a problem. You know what I mean?
So that's a good strength to have, especially in a group.
Oh yeah, no, big time, bro. Maybe the downfall of a lot of shit is like motherfuckers are like patience and like I don't want to say like a vision necessarily, but like they like perception. You know what I mean? A bit like the ability to step into somebody else's shoes and or like to think for people sometimes. Like in order to be like a good leader, you gotta know how to like follow in line. Or like you have to know like step by step what you're doing in order to be effective.
Yeah.
Like we could both run any show that we put together. We could both produce a project that we're putting together because like we understand each other's like innate abilities, and then we also understand each other's like artistic inclinations in a way that makes that process like mad easy.
And when it comes to like your raps and stuff like that, do you mostly like say what's off the top of your head, or do you have stuff written down?
I like to write. Shit, speaking of like fights, that was like a big thing early on. Just getting to like understand each other's like artistic styles. Like Hefe likes to freestyle a lot of his shit, or like he doesn't write a lot of his shit.
It's more of a go with the flow.
Yeah, like go with the flow, but he's very good at what he does. But I'm just a lot more comfortable when I got like pen and pad. You know what I mean? Like when I can just write my ideas down. Mainly just because like I like to structure what I'm about to say a very specific way already. Like again, like I like to take like an author approach to everything that I'm doing and like lay out scenes for the song and like my verse. You know what I mean?
So you say you're very organized?
Yeah, very very type A personality type shit.
Oh yeah, type A, type B.
Yeah.
I think I'm type C to be honest, because I got ADHD. But yeah. And when it comes to the raps that you've written down, do you save your favorites specifically for your own projects, or do you throw them into the Halal Boys as well?
Yeah, I'm not selfish, bro. And honestly, dog, I don't even like weigh it up like that. Like if I'm not feeling anything I'm writing, it's just not gonna get put on a verse or like it's not gonna get put on a song to begin with. So I'm like, honestly, I do like putting my best foot performance wise forward on the Halal Boys project, and then I like to give a lot more of my energy on my solo projects to my structure and storytelling, like the more intricate details of things that I'm saying on my solo work. Mainly just because I use like my solo projects, and I've always used my music to like explore how I'm feeling and like how my life is related to, you know what I mean. Honestly, just where I'm at, you know what I mean, like self reports, you know what I mean, little check-ins.
And this is gonna be like, like an important question. A lot of people in Arizona, their main priority is to leave, and I want to know your thoughts on that, and see why people aren't aware that they do have a scene within their city.
I think people are very aware that there's a scene within the city. It's just, honestly, bro, like, being who I am, bro, as like a black artist in this state, I've been like very fortunate enough to like make a name for myself and have like a place inside the art scene. I feel like it's very, it was very hard fought. There's a lot of like politics around being an artist of color already, specifically being a black artist. You know what I mean? You compete with the perception of what black art is supposed to be inside a certain space. So it's like if you are making hip hop, it's being weighed up against like what white people would want to be played while they're like shopping for like thrifted tees that are like way too expensive. You're gonna have a hard time to some degree. Like you'll definitely be able to make a name for yourself, but to not get trivialized or to like put into a corner or like treated like a niche when you just kind of just making art. That's you, like you're making your art. You're not fitting up to like a mold or a standard. It gets very difficult, like in order to like keep reminding the scene of that perception. It just seems like people kind of get caught up on like the new and shiny very fast. So keeping up with people's like attention spans and also like the very like myopic and very obvious like racisms that pop up in between that, I think can be a cause for people to want to move to communities where they feel not just only like more accepted but just more comfortable. Because I'm like that's like a big part of just being a creative, like especially like when you share your art so deeply, whether that be performing it, you know what I mean, collaborating with people, like you want people to like understand you in and out in a certain way. And it's like sometimes performing in like in front of communities that don't fully understand aspects of your art can be a very draining experience. Like shit, I've thought about myself just wanting to go to more places that feel like meccas for hip hop. Like, and I'm very proud of where I'm from, and I love Phoenix, and I feel like I have a lot to offer it and have offered it. But you know, sometimes that relationship is a little lopsided.
Is there any highlights or specific artists that you've been eyeballing that you think should have some more light shed on them?
So you about to get me in trouble, man. For sure, Terrell Nego. I got hip to bro like 3-4 years ago now. We had done a show. We had done a show together, and no, bro's like really sick. We've been making a lot of music together. We got an album coming out. D-Monks, Lord Maya.
Lord Maya's really good. This is good too.
Shit, bro. See, you about to get me in trouble, bro.
See, there's
Evelyn Duval, man. I don't know if y'all heard of Evelyn Duval, but she's like really dope. A lot of like electro pop, black artists. Like, you know what I mean? She really ill. I would check her out. Fuck this shit. Honestly, whatever we doing, whatever the Law Boys are doing, bro.
And here, let's finish this off with it. Like, what's a statement you could give to people, and either creatively or generally, and how they just keep moving forward?
With a lot more of your own thought, and what I mean by that is, with the state of the world, there's a lot of like propaganda going on. The propaganda just being like a machine to make sure that people are on one accord is being utilized in order to do a lot of nefarious things, whether that be global genocides, displacements, mobilizing fascist regimes. It's a whole lot of things going on. But I think it's important to like educate oneself on how you can play a role in its reversal. And then also just being like a lot smarter about how we spend our time, whether it be like in leisure or actively at work. Yeah. And I think we're gonna be okay.